In a whirlwind visit to Washington on Thursday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sought to secure continued U.S. support for his country, despite a quieter reception compared to his previous visit to Congress. Zelensky delivered an optimistic message regarding the progress of the war while addressing concerns about the flow of American financial aid that has sustained his troops in their battle against Russian forces for 19 months. Zelensky, dressed in olive drab, held private talks with both Republican and Democratic leaders at the Capitol, emphasizing Ukraine's solid war strategy and their perceived success in the conflict. Meanwhile, the world closely watched the level of Western support for Kyiv. U.S. President Joe Biden extended a red carpet welcome to Zelensky on the White House South Lawn and emphasized his concerns to Congress regarding continued funding for Ukraine. However, opposition to this funding from a faction of congressional Republicans, particularly those aligned with former President Donald Trump, posed a challenge. The potential for opposition to U.S. aid for Ukraine also raised concerns about public support for the war effort. Biden expressed his reliance on the good judgment of the U.S. Congress when asked about the funding issue after meeting with Zelensky. This visit marked Zelensky's second trip to Washington since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, coinciding with Biden's request to Congress for an additional $24 billion in aid for Ukraine's military and humanitarian needs, which was still pending approval. In the midst of these developments, the administration announced an additional $325 million in assistance for Ukraine, including air defense systems, artillery ammunition, cluster munitions, and other weaponry. Notably, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who faced opposition to the Ukrainian funding package from Trump-aligned Republicans, chose not to join House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, a Democrat, in welcoming Zelensky. McCarthy also declined Zelensky's request for a joint session of Congress, setting time constraints. However, lawmakers who attended the private meeting with Zelensky reported positive responses to his straightforward answers. The discussions mainly revolved around Ukraine's counteroffensive and the challenges they face in overcoming entrenched Russian defenses. Back in Ukraine, Russia launched heavy strikes just before Zelensky's congressional visit, causing casualties and damage to infrastructure. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan emphasized the need for the U.S. and the world to send a clear message that territorial conquest by dictators in the 21st century is unacceptable. While Biden called on world leaders to stand with Ukraine, he faced domestic political divisions, with some Republican factions opposing further foreign aid. Zelensky's visit came at a crucial time, as Ukrainian forces struggled to reclaim territory from Russia. The progress in the coming months would be critical in garnering additional global support over the winter. Zelensky's reception in Washington differed significantly from his previous visit, when he received widespread applause for Ukraine's bravery and performance in the war. This time, his meeting with senators was held behind closed doors in the historic Old Senate chamber, indicating the Senate's respect for the Ukrainian leader. Zelensky received bipartisan support during his Senate visit, with both Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer flanking him. Lawmakers from both parties wore blue and yellow attire, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. In summary, President Zelensky's visit to Washington aimed to secure ongoing U.S. support for Ukraine, amidst challenges related to funding and political dynamics, highlighting the evolving nature of the conflict and the importance of international backing for Kyiv's efforts.